Mary and Mitzi, you guys covered a lot of stuff that we're going to overlap. So thank you for that, because it sets a base for what we're going to talk about. They went over a lot of the things that you see that you struggle with. We're going to give you some info on where it's coming from, so you can identify where it's coming from and how you can address it.
I just have to say, shout out to the Low Carb crew, because you all set the tone with these two talks first thing on the first day. It's like they planned this on purpose. Right. So this is the foundation, and then everything you hear from here will build on this. But I think these two talks are really the if you don't get this, nothing else matters. Right. Mindset first.
All right. And you'll see they did a really good job of giving you guys a background on who we are and what we do. The one thing I want to point out, we both have this acronym BCS behind on our names.
What is that?
We are behavior change specialists. We work in fitness. We work in lifestyle change. We work in all these different things.
Nutrition.
The nutrition is easy. The fitness is easy compared to the work we have to do up here. Would anybody agree with that? I can give anybody a meal plan. I can give anybody a workout plan. But if you're not thinking about the way that you need to approach your life, it's all going to be hard all the time.
Right. You won't do it. The perfect plan is not perfect if you're not doing it. So we're not going to give you another spiel all about ourselves, but our websites were up there, and we'll flash that again at the end so you can learn more. And if you'd like to work with us, you can get more information there.
I'll let you handle this one.
Trigger warning. We are here to trigger you. Your triggers, I like to say your triggers are your mirrors. We need to stop fearing the trigger and lean into it. Essentially, that's our entire talk today.
That's what we'll do. If you're not feeling triggered, you're not moving forward.
Or
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Discomfort is the goal.
There you go.
That's what we're starting this talk with. We'll end with it as well. If you're comfortable, you're not moving forward. If something's not triggering you, you have no idea what you need to work on.
So being triggered means something matters to you. It matters enough to create an emotional response. It brings awareness if you allow it, and it creates an opportunity for change if you're willing to lean into it. So do not fear your triggers. We are always here to trigger you, right? Pretty much. Join us every Sunday for Keto Rehab Coffee Chat with Coach Bronson and Coach Nat, where it's pretty much a little tough love mindset reset every Sunday on his YouTube and my Instagram. And we're going to bring a little of that to you today. So, what is resistance?
Everything that they just talked about is an example of resistance.
They give a lot of practical examples.
The idea that you're pushing against something that you think you want, or you say you want, or you know you want, or you need to do.
It's the inner force that stops you from doing what you know you need to do. 9 times out of 10, we don't need more knowledge, more information, read more books, get more certifications.
Go to more conferences.
Go to the conferences. But when you listen to everything that you hear this week, there's going to be a lot of information. But the information is not the key. Last year's talk was called You Are the Magic Pill. So you can know everything, but if you don't do it.
And like Mitzi and Mary were saying, some of the things that we see, right? Procrastination, avoidance, overthinking, right? Reactivity, just being reactive. The latest thing that comes out, that's what I got to do. Self-sabotage, excuses, staying in your comfort zone. It kind of all revolves around that comfort zone. How do I keep myself safe and comfortable and low risk in the environment that I'm in right now? But we know what doesn't happen in your comfort zone.
Growth,
progress,
change.
Growth, change. Your goals don't live there. If your goals lived in your comfort zone, you wouldn't need to leave your comfort zone to get, right?
Right. So resistance is normal, expected, and actually required in your process of change. To make progress toward the goals where you want to go, expect resistance to show up.
Yeah, don't avoid resistance. We often think of resistance or the things that we're doing as something bad. And what we're going to go over today is try to get you to understand that the things you're resisting, the triggers that happen, that emotional response when something is put in front of you that reflects where you're at versus where you want to be,
Anything that makes you
is actually
uncomfortable.
a good thing. Resistance is a signal that, one, you care enough to have a response. You're aware that there's something going on. You may not know what it is yet, but you're aware that something doesn't match. The life I'm living doesn't match the identity that I want to have. We're going to talk a lot about identity as well. And that was my story. I had a crossroads at one point where I saw a picture of myself. I was triggered by my man boobs, not my mom boobs, that said, wait a second, that is not who I want to be. And I had to make a choice. I got triggered. It pointed me in a direction and I went in that direction. That's what this is about.
How many people have thrown away your bathroom scale? Or, oh, I have to stop stepping on the scale because why? Oh, they were just that. Guess what? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. The scale is not lying. It's not lying. It's my brain. She was going to tell you. It is an older. If you are afraid of ever been told, stop paying yourself. It's the problem. You shouldn't be paying yourself. That's just data. How you feel about the mercury scale. And that's what.
That's what something you said. Click to the next one. That's where resistance is.
Resistance is an opportunity. The opportunity to make it short.
It's about perception. And we saw something recently. How many people here speak Chinese? Okay, one person. So for you, pick a language you don't speak, right? If someone came in here and spoke a language you didn't understand and said you were all ugly, nasty, horrible people, right? Whatever insults they could possibly throw at you, would it mean anything to you? Because you didn't put the context to it. Because you didn't, they said the same things as if they said it in English, in a language you understood, right? Does it actually mean anything about you just because you understand it versus you didn't understand it? The words were the same. It's the context you put on the words, right? So when she says the scale doesn't lie, it's the same thing. If those numbers were in some ancient character that you didn't understand what the number, it was Sanskrit numbers, they would still be the same thing, right? So your values and your belief systems that you place on the information is is where their trigger is coming from. That's why we say it's a mirror.
Nothing in this world holds any meaning at all except the meaning we assign to it. So anytime you're triggered about anything, ask yourself, what am I making this mean about me? Because that's likely what's going on. You're making it mean something. There's a story, like the ladies were talking about earlier. There's a story your brain is telling you that is not accurate, or at least not all the way accurate. Some of the accuracy is actually what makes us uncomfortable.
Yes. Yes. Oftentimes there's something there that we need to dig into. There are 3 types of resistance, and these aren't really types of resistance as much as they are where the resistance is coming from and how we think about the world. We talked about perception, limiting beliefs, belief systems, value systems. That kind of is where this goes.
Yeah. We're going to share a little bit about what it sounds like in your brain, what it looks like in reality. And then you got some really great practical examples already that you're going to connect those dots from that other talk.
Yeah. So, thank you for doing all that work. We don't need to give examples anymore because they did all that for us.
If you've ever read any books about neuroplasticity, changing your brain, changing the way you think, you may have heard some of these terms used before: the lizard brain, the monkey brain, the pig brain. Different books, different authors have talked about this in different ways. essentially, I don't want you to get hung up on which type is it and oh, I need to memorize which one is this or that. No, they all really overlap, but this is just a good understanding of helping you understand what is this resistance? Where is it coming from? What is it saying? And how can I change?
Yeah. Have you guys seen these ones before? Anyone you haven't seen? I think pig brain and lizard brain are most popular. Monkey brain is probably not as common. All right, let's take the
Let's
first
get
one.
into it.
Lizard brain. You can thank ChatGPT for these images. We are not this talented. Okay. The lizard brain is all about safety, survival. I need to protect myself.
Primitive, instinctual. It comes from the limbic brain, the primitive brain, not the prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, this is about, I don't want to go outside because there's animals out there that can kill me. I don't want to be outside because there's storms and weather and who knows what else there that can kill me. So it's about that safety. I don't want to do things that are risky, that are unknown, that I'm not sure of the result. I don't want to take a chance that I could fail.
Fear of failure is a big one here.
Is that ringing a bell with anybody?
Or even bigger, fear of the unknown. Sometimes people have fear of success. And it's unconscious. And you don't realize that what you're actually afraid of is just, what if I do lose that 50 pounds? Will people see me differently? Will people interact with me differently? Will I get it? I don't know. I don't know what's on the other side of that. How will the world reflect back to me? Well, I have no idea. It's scary because it's unknown, even though it may sound like everything I want. So it doesn't logically make sense up here in the prefrontal cortex with the logic, but survival brain is kicking in.
Jody, get that? We good? That's probably the most common one. Okay.
So what does it sound like?
Anybody avoid making plans? I'll do that later. Right. So again, some examples we talked about already. I know I need to do something blank, 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 but
I love it. I know what to do. I heard it. I meal prep the whole week. And then I ate other things anyway. I don't understand. I made the plan. On my calendar. And comfortable and, these excuses come up that we don't even hear.
Yeah.
We just autopilot respond to that. We're not understanding why. This is where a lot of the frustration comes from. This is the one that's a lot of times very unconscious.
Yeah, this is really one where there's almost no activity. I'm not going to do anything because I'm scared of what's going to happen. I'm unsure. I don't know what's going to happen. You'll see in the other two, the next one has activity, it's just not getting you anywhere. And then the other one has activity that's moving you in
the wrong direction.
This one is, you just don't do anything because you're scared. All right.
It's our favorite.
This is our favorite side. That monkey is killing me. There's two pieces to the monkey brain. The monkey brain is about distraction and complexity, making things more complicated than it needs to be. If everybody doesn't raise their hands, right, when we talk about that, then, come on, we've all done it. We read everything, we watch everything, we analyze everything, we go into every possible corner we can to find all the information about how everything's supposed to work.
Perfectionism. This is the perfectionism trap. Well, I need to know the most optimal way to do keto and then I'll get started.
This is where we get the question, what's the best blank, blank, blank? Is there a
best workout program?
Yeah. What's the best way?
The one that you will do.
Right. This is the way to combat this part of it is really one of my favorite terms, minimum effective dose. There is no best. There's the smallest thing that you can do to move forward. And then when you get used to doing that, there's the next smallest thing that you can do to move forward.
One of your favorite things that you say is
1%.
Do something difficult until it's easy. Make it difficult again. and then do that until that's easy.
It's
Progression.
progression. It's a progression. The other part of it is distraction. I'll let you go over this one. Doom scrolling, YouTube, coming up with anything else to do but trend seek.
A lot of what they shared earlier about, well, I'll eat this before I do this activity. Oh, well, now I'm starting to get hungry, so I shouldn't go to the gym hungry. I should eat first, right? Putting other things in place to fill the space of the thing that you know you really need to be doing. Procrastination.
And
oh gosh, it's almost like I know something about that. I'm working on procrastination.
Yeah, and there's what we call challenge chasers.
Oh yes.
Right. Every time a new challenge comes out, wow, I got to do that. That's going to be the thing. Because what are you doing? You're avoiding the actual thing that you know you need to be doing. It's the challenge is going to fix this. The challenge is going to fix me. Keto is going to fix this. Well, keto didn't do it. Maybe I need to do keto and intermittent fasting.
No, I need to start eating fast.
Oh, wait, it's not keto and intermittent fasting. Maybe I need to start doing OMAD or long-term fasting, or maybe I'll do some fitness. And then what's the one thing that you know that if you just did that consistently, you'd see a difference?
And we all really know that thing.
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Joe, do you know it?
No.
Do you know it? Do you know what your one thing is?
I know exactly.
We all really know what that thing is.
We know.
Yes.
We do.
We try hard to avoid it. And that's what the monkey brain's job is.
Scattered energy. I like that phrase.
Yeah.
It's really scattered energy. You're not focused on the things that actually matter. What you said when we were putting this together, majoring in the minors. You guys have heard that phrase before, right?
More information. Wait, what's the mechanism though? Right? What is the number GKI? I need to know my GKI. I need to know my blood
Do you
sugar
need to know your
level.
GKI to know that you shouldn't have French fries every day? Right?
I'll eat rich raisins so like
Right. Maybe tater tots. I don't know. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what this is all about. All right. The next one is the one that a lot of people have heard of. The big brain.
This one's a little triggering.
Right? The big brain is about comfort. It's too hard to change. I don't want to be uncomfortable. This is the core, really, of this whole conversation. We talked about we're starting with discomfort. We're going to end with discomfort. The desire to be comfortable is overriding your desire for change.
Right.
Right. And again, you guys said it earlier, right? If the pain isn't strong enough, then you're willing to live with the pain you currently have. Right. The pain of change has to be less than the joy of where you want to go, the lack of the pain in your life, whatever it may be, your why.
Well, and this is where we've talked many times about the success trap.
Mm-hmm.
You have some success, keto, low carb, with carnivore, whatever it is. You lose that first 20 pounds, maybe 50 pounds, and you get very comfortable there. Well, this is the one you wanted to talk about. This is good enough, right? I'm not where I used to be. Well, yeah, I ate the fries, but before I would have eaten the fries and the bun and the ice cream. So this is better.
Yeah.
And you let better than the worst be enough for now until for now becomes another 20 years where you still have another 50 pounds. You still have insulin resistance. You still have metabolic disease.
Physical limitations. Yeah. Where you're going can become a resting point, but it should never be an end point.
How long are you on this journey?
Until you die. And this is one of the
Can I stop doing low carb?
Here's the thing. And this is I think every talk we ever do, we have to talk about this because you have always been on this journey and you will always be on this journey. The only difference is how engaged you are in it. Okay. You don't stop trying to improve your physical freedom. You don't stop trying to get better as a person. There is no end point because the minute you stop, there's this really cool word called entropy. things go backwards. You have to continually strive. And I'm not saying that, where you're at is not a good place. You have to recognize the achievements that you've had and show that, hey, I've done it before. What's the next level? Maybe there's something else I can do. What else can I do to improve?
This is another one. Let's go back to that scale for a moment, right? You had a number in your head that was the success number. When I get there, I'm done. And there's this like end point, right? That's the whole going on a diet until I get to this, right? What do I see, and you see a lot as well, and what I see in my coaching all the time, most of the ladies that come to me, a lot of them have lost a lot of weight on this journey, and they are not at all happy with their bodies because they are smaller, softer, flabbier, skin hanging, because they never did anything for their fitness. They never focused on building muscle. It was all about a number on the scale. And they got there and they're still not happy. And I'm always the first one to say, it is okay, by the way, especially for my ladies, but for anyone, you don't have to apologize for having vanity goals.
Say that again. Say that again.
Vanity goals are perfectly valid. It is okay to want to change the way you look. We don't tell people that they shouldn't go and get further education because they want to get smarter, more educated. We don't tell people you shouldn't strive to improve your financial position. But the minute somebody says they want to look good in a bikini, or they want their bodies to look better, oh, no. You're supposed to just be okay with where you are. No, that is crabs in a barrel. That is people wanting to pull you down because they don't feel comfortable with where they are, and you make them triggered.
Which is funny because the entire fitness industry is built on aesthetics, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, I mean,
So,
wanting to
but-
look good, who doesn't want to look to themselves, to their spouse, to other people?
A number on the scale, once again, holding our meaning. It's just your gravitational pull to the earth. It's how much your body weighs. It doesn't tell you the composition of your body. It doesn't tell you the health of your body. So you could hit that number on the scale, but you're not done if you still have a high body fat percentage, a low muscle mass, especially 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. If you don't care in your 30s and 40s, you're going to regret it in your 70s.
You're going to care eventually. So the big brain, you are being willfully ignorant of your situation, right? Which is a really hard thing to do because you know your situation. You're just ignoring the impact that it's really having on your life. We see this a lot when people do start something and they lose a lot of weight and they start exercising and then they realize, hey, wait a second, I can do this. I used to not be able to do this. Hey, I'm not on this medication anymore. Hey, this other thing. And the list starts growing and growing and growing. And they're like, I really had no idea, but they did. They did, because they would wake up in the morning and be like, man, I'm bloated this morning. I feel like crap. Or it takes me 15 to 20 minutes to warm up to start my day. I was there.
Getting out of bed hurt, right?
Right?
Joint
Throwing your back
pain.
out because you sneezed. Right? I mean, those are the things that happen and negatively impact our life, but we're not thinking about them until they're gone.
What did I say to you last night? I was like, oh my gosh.
Don't share.
After dinner, I said, oh my gosh, see, you're still going to have these light bulb moments, no matter how long you've been on this journey. Oh my gosh, I don't have to plan my outfits, my wardrobe based on what am I going to be comfortable in after dinner, because I'm going to be so bloated and uncomfortable. Ladies, how many ladies have planned your wardrobe that way for your entire life? My whole life was that. I didn't come out of the womb as a bikini model. Surprise.
All right. We talk about discomfort. We've talked about the comfort zone a few times. All of this revolves around the comfort zone, whether it's pig brain, monkey brain, lizard brain.
And really, they all overlap.
It's all in there somewhere,
All of those.
right? Either you're bouncing around inside your comfort zone, trying to find something that will maybe hack you to the other side,
The hacks.
right? That's another part of the monkey brain, is looking for all the hacks. Hacks will never replace the fundamentals. The only thing you can do, and this is a mistake that a lot of people make, the only thing you can do to get outside your comfort zone is to take a step. The mistake that people make to get outside their comfort zone is they run all the way back to one side of it and then run all the way across and try to get their speed up and take the biggest leap outside their comfort zone that they possibly can.
And then they go running right back in.
And then they go and turn around and run back into it. Right? One step. It only takes one little step outside for your comfort zone to get bigger.
They talked about
That's the goal.
All or nothing before. Oh, if it's more extreme, then I'll stick to it. I can't stick to keto, so it has to be carnivore. This is where we get into what we're about to get into, which is let's get into the why. If you think you need something stricter to make you stick to it, the thing doesn't make you do anything. You are the one making the choice. So ask yourself, what is causing me to not be able to sit to? Carnivore is going to be easier for me to stick to because stronger is out of the equation. So now I will eat stronger. How's that?
So
Maybe you just stop eating strawberry cake. Right.
So when we talk about the cycle that we see, triggers, resistance, choice, growth, or stagnation, what we're looking at is in the moment, something happens. You get triggered. I made a plan today. It's Christmas. I'm going over to my family's house. I'm going to eat before I go, right? Because that's a hack. We eat before we go, or we bring our own food. And then I show up and I'm triggered because it's the conditioning, it's the habit that I've had for 50 years that whenever I go over to my family's house for Christmas, I have cheesecake or whatever it may be. Cookies.
And you have food
magic cookie tin.
pushers. You have food pushers.
And you have food pushers. People saying, oh, just have a bite, just have this, just have that. That's the trigger. Are you aware of that trigger? Some of you are aware going in because you prepared for it.
But then it happens.
But then it happens, and then you get some, right? And then now what do I do? Now the resistance isn't not eating the food. The resistance is eating the food, right? The resistance is, well, I want to eat the food. I'm resisting staying on plan in that moment.
So all those thoughts, this is where you can go to a lot of the thoughts that Mary and Mitzi shared. What will they think of me? Well, how will it make them feel?
It's rude. They made this all for me.
This is
all for you. Wow.
With your mom's
For me, deviled eggs and egg. That's I get my own plate.
So yes, this is where the thoughts will start to come up. And this is a huge part of my journey overcoming bulimia was identifying the thoughts. Because when I first started doing this work with a coach, I said, well, there are no thoughts. There's no thinking. I just do it. Right? All of a sudden, I find myself on the other side of a binge. I don't know what happened. I blacked out. Bullshit. Bullshit. There is a first action that leads to the next action. And it was a choice. The moment we start to take ownership over the choices is the moment we can make a new choice.
That's the key. Resistance is a choice. We didn't cover that at the beginning. It's expected, but you don't have to succumb to it. You have an opportunity to make a different choice.
It's what you do in that moment that determines what that step 4 is going to be. Growth or stagnation.
Do I stay comfortable or do I do the thing that I keep saying I want to do?
And what does that require?
That requires one of my favorite things, identity shifting. In that moment of choice, we talk about the why and the why not a lot. Why do you want to do this? What's that emotional thing? One of my favorite sayings is your why should make you cry. If you cannot get emotional about the reason why you're saying you want to make these changes, then it's not the real reason you want to make these changes. Okay? Your identity is the framework that supports your why. Who is that person that you're trying to be? How do they live their lives? What are the belief systems that they have? Who do they hang out with? What are they able to do that you're not able to do now? Right? Mary and Missy were talking about Ed. Was it Ed? the voice inside your head. I love that analogy. I like to use this in the identity discussion of it's your old self. It's the ex. A lot of you are still having a relationship with your ex,
Your ex style.
your ex self, right? You're saying I'm trying to develop this relationship with this new person I want to be, but then you keep going over to, hey, what's up, man? Right?
You keep drunk
You
text
keep flirting,
me.
you keep drunk, right? That's the, so you're inviting your ex over for pizza or whatever it may be, right? So in the identity shift, the choice point that number 3, when you're making that choice, is the next decision I make going to support the identity I'm trying to build or keep me in touch with the ex?
I want to share something here about the term goals that drives me crazy. One of the things a lot of my clients say, well, will this support my goals or not? Beware of using the term goals so much that it means nothing to you anymore. Every time you say the word goals or my goal, I want you to identify, what is that goal? Remind yourself. Because I don't know, that's not supporting my goals. I keep doing it. It's not supporting my goals. Well, goals is a very general
It becomes
term.
a broad term.
But if you put your actual goal in there every time you say that, you're reinforcing the why behind the goal. You're reinforcing that identity, who you want to become, how you want to live your life. And if you're not clear on that, if you haven't gotten clear on that yet, that's the first step.
I want to dig into that. What is a goal? Has anybody heard this? A plan with a timeline. If it doesn't have a date, it's not a goal, it's a wish.
A dream.
It's a dream.
A
So
desire.
you can say my goal is to lose weight or to lose 30 pounds. That's great. But that can't be supported by the next decision if you don't have a date. I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months. Maybe this cheesecake will affect that goal. If I have an amorphous goal of losing 30 pounds, there's no requirement, there's no end date, there's no expectation of when, then no, the cheesecake doesn't matter.
When people come to me and ask, is this realistic? If it doesn't have a timeline on it, I can't answer that question for you.
Right.
You want to lose 20 pounds? Well, sure, it's realistic to do that sometime in your lifetime. Is it realistic to do it in a month? No. And if you're doing things to make it happen in a month, you're probably going too extreme and you're not going to be able to stick to that.
All right, we don't get 5 minutes.
All right. Well,
All right.
this is the whole crux here. Take a picture of this.
Take a picture of this slide. And these will be available, right? You're going to make these available?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
The RISE framework, we want you to get into the habit of doing these things regularly. Understand this is the how. Recognize where it's coming from. Where is the resistance coming from? Investigate what that means. Am I seeking comfort? Am I distracting myself?
Get curious.
Get curious. Curiosity is a key to a whole bunch of things.
Curiosity is what reduces that fear response. Just get curious. Ask questions about it. Now it's not this big thing I have to fear. A lot of my clients are afraid to do the meditation journaling because they're afraid of what's going to come up when they get quiet.
Yeah. Reframe it. Shift your mindset. Shift your perspective on the whole situation.
Lots of great reframes from the ladies.
Yeah, well, you guys did half her work for us, so this could be a much longer. And then engage. Make a small change.
1%.
1% minimum effective dose. What's the one thing? What's the low hanging fruit that we all have? We all have 2 or 3 things in our head already that we know we should do or could do. And that's pretty much what this is.
So this is the path forward. Catch yourself. This is the first thing. This is what I had a hard time doing when I was stuck in my bulimia. There are no thoughts. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. Don't let yourself cop out like I don't know. How many are familiar with Tony Robbins? The work of Tony Robbins, right? This is something you will hear in every single session he ever does. When he has somebody stand up and he asks them a question, they say, I don't know. He said, what if you didn't know? What if you didn't know? So that is the catching yourself in the cycle, recognizing that it's happening. Rise daily, use that framework. This is the investigate. This is the get curious. Well, what if I did know what the pig brain was saying or what the lizard brain was saying?
What was my thought process? And this is where we talk about behavior change. It's really key to build awareness. This is where journaling, taking notes, writing your thoughts down. Many, many people that we work with have no awareness in the moment.
Right.
It's afterwards where they feel the guilt, the remorse, or whatever it is. And then they often just take that and keep going about their lives. They don't address it. They don't investigate that.
Because it's uncomfortable.
Because it's uncomfortable. Why did I make that decision? So even if you get into the habit of just asking yourself after the fact,
After action
you
report.
develop the awareness after, when that becomes a skill, because the more you do something, the better you get at it. What happens is you have the trigger, the reaction, and then the analysis. What we want to do is we want to get better at the analysis piece until it gets wedged in between the trigger and the action, right? When you get really good at understanding why you're making decisions, even if it's after the fact, you can start being aware in the moment, and then you can affect the decision
This is
and
what
the choice.
This is what's so powerful with coaching. And this is what we do with our weekly check-ins with clients. We ask a whole lot of questions about your week because we're trying to get you to become more aware after the fact so that you can start backing that up and become more aware in the moment. But if you're stuck right now in these pattern loops and you can't figure out how to get out of it, this is the first step. Do the analysis afterward.
All right. So like we said, your resistance is your path. Discomfort is the goal. How scary is that? Discomfort is the goal. How many people get sore when they work out?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that the point?
Right.
Why do we avoid it everywhere else?
Woo. Preach.
Okay. And this is your saying.
Old ways don't open new doors.
All right. That's all we got. Thank you, guys.
Well,